Gonna touch on some more things that I've been circling. And this I just went on a rant, so I'm gonna try to just remember it now for this. But basically, what I've been circling is this idea of like what we're in. Obviously, we live in like a capitalist society. I think people could agree that where things are going, like who knows, but just reflecting on some things, I feel like one thing I want to touch on is this like idea of what capitalism is. I know communism is a big word people get scared of and all this stuff, but from my perspective, I hope there's like a hybrid solution somewhere down the line. I don't know if many people are talking about this, what leaders there are. To be honest with you, I've been sort of disconnected from a lot of that, trying to just gather my own thoughts and process my own thoughts without any outside, influence. And some may say that's you're not well informed or whatever, but I don't really care. To me, slavery has not ended. If you look at the justification of slavery, it was for economic prosperity in the South. Humans were transported over to be resources, human resources to work, human resources to work, human resources to work and be extracted from, to create value. And I don't think that underlying concept has changed. And people may say, well, there's no more violence, and how could you even say that? Look at what happened back in the day. And true, I don't even think what the violence that we talk about is half of it. From bucking and castrating and emasculating. And Frederick Douglass, wrote when slaves didn't know their name, didn't know their birthday, didn't know anything, separated from their families, right? So all of those horrors, again, that's just the iceberg of it. One, sticks with you generationally. Two, the way it worked was like, okay, now you're free. You're free. You have no idea who you are. Your only skills have been in the field or in the house, if you will. And so you're free. But if you want to live, well, you can voluntarily work. But how voluntary is it when it's tied strictly to your survival? I don't know. And then also, when you only know what you know, knowledge is important. And when you know what you know, and that's all you know, how are you expected to do anything else? How are you expected to build, make stuff for yourself? You're barred from the land that you help cultivate. You're removed from the processes that it takes that were set in place to do this. So you're free, but now you're barriered, right? And I don't think those things have changed. I think you couldn't do the physical things to people anymore, obviously, and it doesn't just go away. It gets reworked, and it doesn't have to be this phantom shadow people above. It's just seemingly the way it worked. But in my opinion, it's like okay, we can't do that. Let's open it up. Let's tie survival to employment and to the time that you give to me to help me, and me being the masses, make my money, right? And I will compensate you for what I feel is your time is valued at. And I think that concept was just expanded to more people. The Irish came in, Italian, right? And then it's on you to like figure out how you can build and move your way up through society. And you have a luxury because you look closer to the elite, right? At this point, and the elite we know who they are. So you're able to kind of make your own way, leaving, again, my particular focus is like the black community, black people, black Americans, and what has ensued. But again, for me, it's the intersectionality of it all. Like, at what point are we able to have the conversation that it's not about any of these labels, these binary labels, these like black, white, good, bad, gay, straight, left, right, Coke, Pepsi. Like, bro, it's all you go into a grocery store, you go to a CVS, and every product there is owned by about 3 companies. So brands and this illusion of choice of Child Matrix, this illusion of like the psychological fucking, it's insane what has gone on, in my opinion. But again, I don't even mean this from a just ride with me. But I feel that, like, what, is conversation the savior of everything? I don't know. But like, I'm not sitting here trying to argue with people of like, oh, I worked hard for this and I got this and you're just bitching and you don't want to work to say anything. I don't have time for that. At what point can we bypass all of that and look at the underlying timeline and history of facts? And we are all closer in this experience than I feel like the media, the illusion, the division has made people think, right? Because sure, you may be you may be in the upper middle class and I'm in the lower middle class, but guess what, bro? We're still in the middle class, and there's a higher class, and there's a higher class than that. And it doesn't, like, again, I don't think it's like fuck everybody, but like, how much are we acknowledging in that, taking back our power, which is time, energy, your mind, and like building with that. And I think that, to me, though, is like, that calls for people that do have the resources to share the knowledge, share the resources, share the assets, share the ways in which to play the game. Because at the end of the day, it is a game. There's a way, you got to invest in these certain things. Again, wealthy people invest their time. Time is money. Time and space is your mind. They invest all of that, and they protect that. Average people trade their time for money to go live, or leisure, or pleasure. You're not really concerned about, not that you're not concerned, but you obviously, your time is limited because it's taken elsewhere. So even the rate at which you can build and grow might be a little bit stunted, but usually you kind of just trade it because it's like, okay, well, this is the life that I'm living, and as I get more money, I may be able to do more things. But investing, I don't know. And again, this is just, I'm talking about the stages of myself. But, and then poor people, I feel like you just spend time. You're just constantly trying to, again, it's about survival. Everything's about survival. How can I tie this work to your survival? How can I tie this industry to your insecurities? How can I then create a world that, exacerbates or amplifies these insecurities within yourself? Then you then seek a solution. Well, then they make the solution. Create the problem, create the solution. That's the name of, like, even probably capitalism. And it's happening even with spiritual. It's happening in every industry, because as soon as you let that greediness sneak into whatever, that's the playbook. And again, going back to the beginning, I don't know. I just can't believe there's not a hybrid. Like, who, and if there is, where are they? Maybe I should fucking stay up on the news then. But to me, the news just makes me see like already what I don't and want to see, and brings me lower than because at the end of the day, like, how much control do you really have within the larger game? Now, you can control how you move in it, you can control how you see it, but at the end of the day, you're still like at the whim of something greater than yourself. Whether that's people, a higher power, that maybe those people have, like, at the end of the day, they can try to do this how they want to, but whatever. We don't even get into that. I just want to talk about the fact that from day one, we have been doing the same things, scaled to encompass more people, to encompass more money. Like, I don't think there was billionaires fucking 100, like, I don't even know how many years ago. Maybe there was. I don't fucking know. Again, all I'm really concerned about is right now, and what I see right now is all that. This is just my way of getting out. Ideally, I'd like to probably put some stuff in writing, but I would love to, like, further investigate or talk about just the pipeline of, like, modern day slavery, what that looks like in terms of the mind, how also, like, formal schooling and education is to me more about putting you through a pipeline to prepare you for the world, which is, like, kind of wild. Like, the more you move through the world, like, I feel like it's just a larger school, right? Like, I go to my office, I see everyone in their backpacks, and they're working at the desk, and there's little cliques and friend groups and all those things, and, like, it's work, but, like, bro, it's just school on a larger scale. I'm learning on the job. I'm learning about. I'm growing with. So, like, this is all part of life. So I don't think it's like, again, like, life. Don't partake in life. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, let's acknowledge that the foundation of this has not changed. So we can't expect change. We can't expect to like, you can reside a house all you want, but if the foundation is shaky, that house can look as pretty as it fucking wants to, but eventually that foundation is going to collapse. And I think we've resided a lot. And at what point do we just acknowledge that, hey, we're all in this together. We're all on the same fucking train. And the shit's been hijacked. Shout out Idris. But yeah, it's just my thoughts. But because it's like, I don't know what the solution is, but just acknowledging the fact, and just, again, exploitation, excavating. We do all this, we build all this, and then you're barred from even, like, owning it. And ownership is what's important. Owning your time, owning your space. All of these things is what true freedom is. And we've been spoon-fed illusory versions of that. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of not seeing conversation about it. I don't know if conversation changes the world, but it certainly probably can bring people together on common threads more than we may feel there are, right? Like, let's and again, I'm gonna try to write more and get this out, because I don't even know if I'm making sense sometimes, but, like, it's really important to me. So I don't know. Peace and love. Stay up. These are just my thoughts.